the smell of your ears, and Frito paws. Robert would ask you to give him kisses, and you'd give him 100. I'd ask you to give me kisses, and you'd only nose me. Your head kept bobbing that past summer as you watched the waves in Pismo under the truck, lying on the sand, falling asleep. I grabbed the chain link and yanked on it with a loud clang. The dozen or so puppies reeled backwards, collapsing on top of one another in a squiggling heap of fur. Just one remained. He was gold with a white blaze on his chest. He jumped up and excitedly licked my fingers through the fencing. It was love at first sight. I grew up with cats, also wonderful, and I didn't get my first dog until I was in my 20s. That dog, Neo, set a precedent for the rest of my life where I would never want to live without a dog. Dogs become part of the Razor Martinez family. We even give them silly voices and make them say things. Our constant muses. The joy, the fun, the laughter, the training, the frustration, the tears when they finally have to leave us. I wrote this tribute program shortly after my second dog, Phineas, passed away 2 years ago. It includes the prose, A Day in the Life of Murphy by Alice Provenson, Marley and Me, Life and Love with the World's Worst Dog, and To My Fur Angel by me. An anonymous poem entitled Waiting at the Door, and bits of Phineas Martinez's medical report by Dr. Romy Gill of Clovis Pet Hospital. Dogs are here for us. We're here for them, from puppyhood to the Rainbow Bridge. I named him Sean. He was one of those dogs that give dogs a good name. He was with me when I smoked my first cigarette and my last. He was with me when I kissed my first girl. He was even right there beside me in the passenger seat when I snuck out my older brother's Corvair for my first joyride. The time Robert came home and caught you gnawing on our brand new toppled over Bradford pear tree. The time you jumped out of my moving car's window at UC Davis to chase a squirrel on the grass nearby. Murphy, Stop That is my name. I'm a terrier. I bark. I bark at anything and everything all the time. When I wake up in the morning, I know I must hurry. I must pay attention. Run, run, hurry up, hurry up. Don't waste any time. You have to be first. The first one in the kitchen in the morning. Where's the pan? The pan! First, leftovers! Lettuce. Forget the lettuce. Where's the bowl? The bowl! Milk souring. Floor. The floor! Nose over every inch. Oh, crumbs. Scraps. Oh, wonderful drops of grease. That delicious pile of shoes. I just can't resist giving them a chew. Murphy, stop that. Uh-oh, spanking. Out I go. I'm in again. Sean was spirited but controlled, affectionate but calm. Relatives would visit for the weekend and return home determined to buy a dog of their own. So impressed were they with Sean, or Saint Sean, as I came to call him. He came into my life and I into his. And in the process, he gave me the childhood every kid deserves. It was you who made Zara laugh for the first time when she was only 2 months old. You were Felicia's best backyard defender in basketball. You made me cry in frustration the time I couldn't keep you from ripping the ficus tree nesting material from the pot. I was walking with you when I was 8 months pregnant and lifted your 50-pound body into the bed of a nearby truck to save you from a charging stray dog. Presented for not eating well. Lost weight History of splenic hematoma on biopsy in July. Gums pale on physical exam today. Blood test shows liver numbers elevated. We knew you for 2 months and were willing to do whatever it took to fix your heart, keep you alive. At this point, the doctor said, our only real option is to go into surgery. I see. The doctor sensed my agony and discussed the complications that could likely be expected in operating on a dog of Marley's age. Another thing troubling me is the residue that came out on the catheter, indicating problems with the stomach wall. Who knows what we might find when we get in there? Can I have a minute alone with him? Take all the time you need. I ran my fingers through his fur the way he liked. I ran my hand down his back. I lifted each floppy ear in my hands. Those crazy ears that caused him so many problems over the years and cost us a king's ransom, and felt their weight. I picked up his front paw and cupped it in my hands. And I dropped my forehead to his. And we sat like that for a long time, as if I could telegraph a message through our two skulls from my brain to his. I wanted to make him understand some things. You know all those things we said about you? What a total pain you are? Don't believe it. Don't believe it for a minute, Marley. He needed to know that, and something else too. There was something I never told him, no one ever had. And I wanted him to hear it before he left. Marley, you are a great dog. The time just last weekend when we fell asleep together on the same pillow. You would bust in on Robert whenever he was using the restroom. Your thumps as you'd flop into the bathtub when it was too hot to sleep on your bed in the summer. You loved to open presents. You loved to bark at the PetSmart rats. The vet's office would come to a standstill whenever you came in. You were that special. The receptionists were crying on the day you died. They had to call a former receptionist to tell her that you passed away, and she cried. I have no doubt that you loved our entire family with your heart and soul. I was just a pup when we first met. I loved you from the start. You brought me in and took me home and placed me in your heart. Good times we had together. We shared all life could throw. But time passed all too quickly. My time has come to go. I see how much you miss me. I see your heart is sore. I see the tears that fall when I'm not waiting at the door. You always did your best for me. That much was plain to see. For even though it broke your heart, you set my spirit free. So please be brave without me. One day we'll meet once more. For when you're called to heaven, you'll be waiting at the door.